again, when you make a movie, it's funny. I remember after Mallrats came out, and it was in the theater, you know, it was cool because it's a small town. I grew up in Highlands. People like go to the movies and see us in a studio movie, and they're like, "Oh my God, bro, how many houses you gonna buy? How many cars?" And I'm like, "Bro, I got paid, you know, after taxes and everything, it was like $7,000, which is great, but it wasn't gonna buy me 3 houses or anything." So I had to go back to work out all the time. So, you know, doing those movies, and then we got to Dogma, and that's when I got to stop working my normal job. But we worked with Alan Rickman and all these people. It's been surreal from the get-go. Even Mallrats, I got to meet Stan Lee and work with Shannon Doherty, and I watched 90210 when I was younger and stuff. So all of that was super surreal to me. And as each movie went that we shot, Dogma, Linda Fiorentino, and Alan Rickman, and then, you know, Chris Rock, all these people, that it was just super surreal to me, and it still is to this day, honestly, getting to work with, like, just recently I did Yoga Hosers with Kevin. I did one scene, I got to do a scene with Johnny Depp, which is crazy, and I just remember sitting there going like, oh my God, I'm about to do a scene with friggin' Jack Sparrow or friggin' 21 Jump Street's Johnny Depp. You know, it's pretty surreal. So when I found out I was doing a scene with Mark Hamill, again, just getting to meet him and do a scene with him was super awesome. But then getting to know, I get to bong, like, technically it was lightsaber fighting, but not, it was bong saber fighting. You know, it was super, I mean, just, it blows my mind still. Again, it blows my mind that you guys are here watching me when you could be hanging out with, you know, Hulk Hogan or something. But, you know, it's been a super surreal situation over the past 20-something years that we've did a movie, and it got picked up by Miramax, and then Kevin put me in another movie, and then from there I got to do another indie movie, and then got to do this indie movie, and I've been able to tour with our podcast and comic book conventions. So anyone I get to work with, it's been awesome. He's super nice. I remember I was super stoked because I worked with him there, and, you know, he was in a couple days because he was only in that one scene. You know, there was the scene in the bong saber fight and all that. But then I remember my buddy set up this thing where I got to go on a private jet with Mark Hamill and a couple other people to go to San Francisco to see a screening of the new Star Wars movies years and years and years ago when the new series came out. So I got to fly on a jet with him, and it was just like, it's awesome. Even though I had worked with him already, I got to sit in a jet with him and go see Star Wars, and I'm like, this is crazy. I was in the bathroom, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. That's me shaking, kids. You know? But yeah, so it was awesome, it really was. And Carrie Fisher was awesome. Like, I'll never forget, and Kevin tells a better story because it was his perspective, but when we did Jam Bob, I got sober, but then in my head, I was like, well, I could still drink. I'm not an alcoholic, even though I am. But at that point, I didn't think so. So I was like, as long as I'm not doing drugs, I can drink. So I was drinking almost every night after we'd shoot all day and stuff, and then I'd go out with these kids I met, and we'd go to clubs and dance and drink and stuff. And I came in hungover, and I was super obnoxious with her because, you know, we're driving in the car, and I go down and I say something. I'm like, well, then maybe I can do the rules of the road or whatever. And I remember a few times I was like, oh, I can smell it. You know, and the first time she was like, ha, 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 ha. But then, like, I was more obnoxious and more obnoxious. Finally, she was like, listen, stop. Like, it's not funny. And she, like, pulled me aside and was like, hey, I can smell the booze on your breath, you know. And she gave me this nice lecture. It wasn't a bad lecture, but Kevin even said he remembers looking in this grass field where we were shooting because they had trailers and we had to shoot in that long road with her. And he said he looked out, and in the middle of this big grassy field, her and I are walking, and he just thought, like, what the heck could Jay, Mewes, and Princess Leia be talking about in the grassy knoll and shit? But she was super sweet, was just saying, like, hey, you know, over the years I've worked with people and done this, and just said really nice things, trying to be like, hey, you shouldn't drink every night, it's not gonna lead anywhere as good. And I'll never forget that. It was super nice. So yeah, man, I was super stoked, but it really has honestly been like that, not just with him, with when we found out Chris Rock, George Carlin, like, it's just been super awesome and surreal, all the different cool people. Will Ferrell, I mean, Will Ferrell and I remember at one point, so when we shot Jay and Bob, that CD just came out in that song, and I literally would play it every day. So like in the morning when you do a movie, you go in the trailer and they have hair and makeup, makes you up, and then you gotta go over to wardrobe and put your costume on and stuff. But everyone that comes into work would be sitting in the trailer, so every day I would get in, I'd be like, can you play this? And they'd be like, oh, this again? But when people come in, like Will Ferrell would come in, and so he knew the song because he had to go like 2-3 days in a row. I was playing it when he came in. He's like, you're still playing this song? But it was that song, says you called me in the shower, wasn't me. And they called me in the bathroom, wasn't me, yeah. So that song was like stuck in my head, and we were about to do that scene, the like spoof on The Fugitive, where Silent Bob and Jay like run through the tunnel and jump out, and we're hanging there with the ape. But then Will Ferrell's character is like, whoa, and he runs and he goes after us and he jumps past us. We were like setting up a light or something when we were getting ready to shoot it. So we're all standing around, and I was like, and that song, because I played it every day, was stuck in my head, and I was like, and she called me in the shower, all by myself. But it was awesome because all of a sudden, like, he grabs my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's Will Ferrell, and he like grabs me, and him and I are like, it wasn't me, we started dancing together. Again, it was just one of those situations where I was like, oh my God, I'm dancing with Will Ferrell. So yeah, it's been like that, and it still is like that. We'll see, you know, we get to, hopefully, if all goes as planned, we're gonna shoot Jay and Silent Bob reboot in the middle or end of July. And everything's sort of coming together. We're super, super close on having all the money, locations, and all that type of stuff that has to be taken care of. And hopefully it does. And if it goes as planned, we'll start shooting in July. And there's a lot of really cool cameos, and the script's awesome, and we'll have so much fun. And so, yeah, hopefully we'll get a few more people, cast members, that I can be like, oh my God. It's him, it's her. So we'll see, but we'll update you. I know there's gonna be some people. There's a couple scenes that have tons of extras and little like one-line speaking lines and stuff that Kevin, I know, had a contest. And he's also gonna tweet and Facebook saying, hey, come out, we're gonna be shooting here, and if you can get yourself out there, you can be part of the movie. So we'll see.